What's good, Eagles Nation? It's Philly Sports Truth coming at you with some historic news that just dropped. Jalen Hurts just did something that no Eagles quarterback has ever done in the 92-year history of this franchise. Not Donovan McNabb, not Randall Cunningham, not even 2017 MVP Carson Wentz. We're talking about a record that stood for 7 years until last night. If you're ready to witness history, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's dive into how Jalen Hurts just cemented his place in Eagles lore. Here's what just happened. Through 7 games of the 2025 season, Jalen Hurts is posting a passer rating of 108.9. Let me say that again for the people in the back. 108.9. That is now the highest passer rating through 7 games in Philadelphia Eagles franchise history. The previous record, 108.1, set by Carson Wentz during his magical 2017 MVP campaign. That's the same season Wentz had the Eagles at 11-2 before his injury. That's the same Carson Wentz that had Eagles fans thinking we had our franchise quarterback for the next 15 years. And Jalen Hurts just topped it. But here's what makes this even more impressive. Wentz set that record and then got hurt. The season fell apart for him personally, even though the team won the Super Bowl. But Hurts, he's healthy, he's rolling, and he's showing absolutely no signs of slowing down. The numbers don't lie. Through 7 games, Hurts is completing over 70% of his passes. He's thrown 11 touchdowns against just 1 interception. 1. And oh yeah, he's also added over 200 rushing yards because, apparently, being an elite pocket passer wasn't enough for him. This isn't just a hot start. This isn't just a few good games. This is elite, consistent, franchise-altering quarterback play. And it's happening right here in Philadelphia. Now let me put this in perspective for you, because the national media isn't going to do it. Do you know how many quarterbacks in NFL history have posted a 70% completion percentage, 11+ touchdowns, and 1 or fewer interceptions through their first 7 games? 3. Just 3 quarterbacks have ever done this in the 100+ year history of the National Football League. Alex Smith in 2017, Drew Brees in 2018, and now Jalen Hurts in 2025. Let that sink in. Jalen Hurts is in the same statistical company as a future Hall of Famer in Drew Brees and one of the most accurate quarterbacks of all time in Alex Smith. That's the level we're talking about here. But wait, it gets better. Against the Vikings last Sunday, Hurts posted a perfect 158.3 passer rating. And this wasn't against some bottom-feeder defense.
The Vikings came into that game with the number 2 pass defense in the entire NFL, and Hurts absolutely shredded them. 4 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, surgical precision, complete command of the offense. That's the performance that officially pushed him past Wentz's record and into the history books. You know what the crazy part is? The national media still isn't giving him his flowers. They're still talking about Lamar Jackson, still hyping up Josh Allen, still debating whether Dak Prescott is elite. Meanwhile, Jalen Hurts is quietly putting together a historic season that's going to end in the MVP conversation whether they like it or not. I know some of you don't want to hear this, but we have to talk about the Carson Wentz comparison, because it's the elephant in the room. Back in 2017, Wentz was on top of the world. He was the MVP favorite. He was posting video game numbers. Eagles fans were ordering his jersey in bulk. And then, it all came crashing down. The injury happened. The inconsistency crept in. The relationship with the organization fractured. And eventually, he was traded away. But here's the thing that nobody wants to admit. Wentz was really good in 2017. That 108.1 passer rating wasn't a fluke. He was making throws that Eagles quarterbacks historically just didn't make. He had the arm talent, the mobility, the command of the offense. For 13 games, he was legitimately elite. So for Jalen Hurts to come in and beat that number, that's not disrespecting Wentz.
That's acknowledging just how special Hurts is playing right now. The difference is this. Wentz had the talent, but couldn't sustain it. The mental side of the game eventually caught up to him. The injuries piled up, the confidence wavered, and the Eagles had to move on. Jalen Hurts has shown the opposite trajectory. Every year he's gotten better. Every criticism he's answered. Arm strength? Fixed it. Deep ball accuracy? Fixed it. Pocket presence? Fixed it. Reading defenses? Mastered it. This isn't a flash in the pan. This isn't fool's gold. This is a quarterback who has put in the work, made the improvements, and is now reaping the rewards at the highest level. And let's be real, Hurts has something Wentz never had. Leadership. The locker room loves this dude. When things get tough, he doesn't shrink. He steps up. That "we ain't losers" mentality isn't just a catchy soundbite. It's who he is. So let's talk about what everybody's thinking, but the national media refuses to acknowledge. Jalen Hurts is building a legitimate MVP case. Right now, the narrative is all about Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. And look, those guys are balling out too.
I'm not going to sit here and disrespect what they're doing. But let me ask you this. Why is Jalen Hurts not in that conversation? He's got a 108.9 passer rating through 7 games. Historic for his franchise. He's completing 70% of his passes. He's got an 11-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. He's adding 200+ rushing yards. He just posted a perfect 158.3 rating against a top 2 defense. The Eagles are 5-2 and tied for first in the NFC East. What more does this man have to do? Here's my theory. The national media has already written their narrative. They decided years ago that Jalen Hurts was a running quarterback who couldn't win from the pocket. They decided he was a game manager who couldn't carry a team. They decided he wasn't in the same tier as Mahomes, Allen, and Jackson. And now that he's proving them wrong week after week after week, they don't want to admit they were wrong. It's easier to keep ignoring him than to acknowledge they missed on the evaluation. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Because while they're talking, Jalen Hurts is doing. He's putting up numbers. He's winning games. He's breaking franchise records. And when December rolls around and the Eagles are competing for the number 1 seed, they're going to have to talk about him. The MVP race is wide open right now. And if Hurts keeps playing like this, if he keeps posting elite efficiency numbers, making clutch throws, and leading this team to wins, he's going to force his way into that conversation, whether the media likes it or not. So what does this historic start mean for the rest of the Eagles' season? First off, it means the ceiling is astronomically high. When your quarterback is playing at a historic level, everything else becomes easier. The defense can be more aggressive, knowing they don't need to be perfect. The run game opens up because teams have to respect the pass. The offensive line can settle in, knowing their quarterback is making the right reads. Second, it means the NFC East is ours to lose. The Cowboys are struggling. The Giants are rebuilding. Washington is competitive but inconsistent. If Jalen Hurts keeps playing like this, the Eagles are going to run away with the division. Third, and this is the big one, it means we have a real shot at a deep playoff run. Look, I know it's only week 8. I know there's a lot of football left to play. But when your quarterback is posting a historic passer rating, when he's making throws into tight windows, when he's elevating the entire offense, that's the formula for January success. The Eagles are 5-2 right now, tied for first place. They've got the Bengals, Jaguars, and Cowboys coming up in the next 3 weeks. If Hurts keeps playing at this level, there's no reason this team can't be 8-2 heading into the stretch run. And here's the thing that should terrify the rest of the NFC. Jalen Hurts is still improving. This isn't his ceiling. He's getting better at reading defenses, better at his footwork, better at his deep ball accuracy. If he takes another step forward in the second half of the season, we might be watching an MVP campaign unfold right before our eyes. Jalen Hurts just made Eagles history. 108.9 passer rating through 7 games, the highest in franchise history. Better than Wentz, better than McNabb, better than anyone who's ever put on midnight green. This is a special season unfolding, Eagles Nation. Don't take it for granted. Appreciate what we're watching, because quarterbacks don't play like this very often. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe for more Philly sports content. Drop a comment and let me know. Is Jalen Hurts an MVP candidate? I'll see you in the next one. Fly, Eagles, fly.